I'm Bridget Edel, and welcome to the first edition of Lip Gloss and a Sander. I'm here today at our local coffee shop with Carmen Fellows. Today what we're going to do is going to go yard sailing throughout the neighborhood and find a piece of furniture that Carmen is looking for her house. Right now she's looking for a bookshelf for her house, and we're going to go to some local yard sales throughout the neighborhood, try and find her a piece, and then we're going to show her how to refinish it and put it in her home and do it herself. So here we are. We always start out the day at the coffee shop and go through the plan of which yard sales we're going to hit first and which ones we're going to see. What I think we're going to do first is the first yard sale is right here in the neighborhood. It's right down the street.
Okay.
I looked on Craigslist and printed out some of the ones I thought might work, that might have
what I'm looking for?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one starts soon, so I thought we'd go here first. Some of the things that they have at their sale are they advertise furniture and some antiques, so I thought we'd hit that one first.
Okay.
And then we have two that are down the street, about a mile away, and they're close to each other, so I thought we would just do a lap around there and see if we could find a bookshelf for you.
Great, great. That sounds like a good plan, and hopefully we'll find something.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Now, do you have a budget for?
I figured a couple hundred. I mean, and then by the time we sanded and everything, which is why I think trying to find something that I can refinish myself, because I do have a limited budget. So hopefully we'll find something that fits in there.
Okay, so we'll say your budget's $100 with the finishing, with the buying the product, the product to refinish it, and $100.
Yeah,
right?
That sounds right.
Okay, good, great. So I think we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll park and we'll go in and we'll see if they have any furniture, and we'll see, based on what your budget is, we'll see if we can get the best deal. Try and shoot for $20 or less.
Okay. All right. Well, since you're really good at the bargaining, I'm going to let you
Okay, great.
take care of that. But yeah, hopefully we'll find what I'm looking for.
Great, and there it is up there. So now before we go in, I just wanted to tell you one thing. You should always make sure when you go to these sales, make sure you have a tape measure.
Okay.
So I brought a tape measure. That way, if you have the dimensions of the space that you have at your home, this way you don't buy something that's not going to be the right fit.
Right.
So it's always good to carry a small tape measure with you, so you're not guessing. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Bridget Edel. Hi. This is Carmen.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. We came. We're looking for a bookshelf. She's looking for a bookshelf for her home. So we were wondering if you guys had any furniture.
About 3 feet high, and
Fortunately, we don't have that much here. We've got like some tables and but we don't have that much as far as furniture goes, unfortunately. No bookshelves.
Would you mind if we just took a look around? Great. Thank you.
great. Actually, I love this vintage print. It's kind of cool.
Oh my God. Do you look at that?
Just that the glass is broken, but
Oh, where is that?
down here on the left.
Do you like the print though?
I do. What do you think if I ended up buying something like, would it be expensive to get glass made or something?
No, absolutely not. Like you could just call one of the local glass companies and they could just cut you a piece of glass.
Oh, okay.
So that would be, so sometimes what happens is that you're at a yard sale looking for a piece of furniture and then you end up finding something else that works in your home. So this is something that Carmen likes that has a little bit of a cracked glass at the bottom. So I just told her that possibly you could just go to a local glass company, they can just cut you a piece of glass to fix the...
Yeah, it's an awesome deal.
This is a really great size, and the frame is really nice. Except for the glass, it would be a good deal at $8. So
Definitely well considered.
yeah, okay.
So what else they have?
Yeah, okay, so we're going to look around. So here we are looking for a bookshelf, and we found a picture, so you never know. Unfortunately for this yard sale, there was not the piece of furniture that Carmen's looking for, but so we're going to go to the next sale, but we may be back to buy that print, so wasn't
a total loss.
Right, yeah.
No.
Great.
Okay.
I'm very, very excited because as we were driving up, I think I see something that might look like small bookshelf, but we'll see. So we have my tape measure and my lip gloss, because here I am. All right, Carmen.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's hope this is the one that's got
Okay.
our stuff.
Here we go.
These little rockers are
Oh
really
my
cute.
gosh, look at that.
Oh,
So what
look
do you
at
think
that.
of that?
You know, that might just be, I'm not crazy about the finish, but we can,
Yeah, well, we
can
could,
work
let's
on
look
that, right?
at it and see. All right, so
but the size is awesome. That's
is that what you're looking for? More like a
Yeah.
long?
Do you
as
have a tape measure?
I do.
Let's see if it's,
Okay, let's see. That's my lip gloss. Okay. All right. So here you want to hold that end.
yeah.
So it looks like it is 3 feet.
3 feet. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's the right.
So what do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, and what we can do is I can,
So-
oops, I can show
This is
you
gonna
how
be
to.
hard
Thank
to-
you. No, it looks like if you're looking for like just a stained
Yeah, I want
finish.
a stained or a creamy white. I
Oh,
haven't decided,
okay.
but maybe like one of the two.
Perfect.
All right. Let me just.
How much are you asking for this?
Make me an offer. Why don't you make me an offer?
What do you think?
It's early, so
Okay.
make me a.
Well, you're the expert. What do you think?
You think $20?
Sure.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Good. Great.
All right.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
You want to
Great.
see what else they have?
Yeah,
while
we're
here?
going to walk around and look. Yep. Perfect. Okay.
Look, Bridget.
Yes.
Do you see any damages to it?
Look for the cracks here.
Where?
Like just looking to here to see if
Yeah.
there's any. The white is easier. That's pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get
Oh,
that.
good. Yeah.
I'm going to get that. And
the bookshelf.
And I think that's. I'm excited.
good?
I
Good.
found two great things.
Great.
so-
I think I might get those finials.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we have the bookshelf. We said 20. This is 6.
Okay.
And these 2 finials are $2 each, which is 30. So would you be willing to take 25 for?
Sure.
Great.
Sure.
Okay, great.
All right,
So
great.
25.
I'm excited.
So,
Great. Thank you
oh,
very
you're
much.
welcome. Thank you. We're so great. We saw that from the street. I was very excited.
Good.
Okay, so 25.
These are awesome.
Here's 20.
Okay.
And I think I have a 5.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Great.
you.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
All right.
Okay, so here we are. We were so lucky. We hit a yard sale that had exactly what we were looking for. But unfortunately, I made a cardinal mistake of not checking the back of my car before I left for yard selling, and I have a whole bunch of stuff in the back, which is kind of a little worrisome because now I got to figure out how to get the bookshelf in here with all the stuff. So these are like the chairs to my sons when I go to watch them play baseball and that kind of thing. So make sure you remember when you go yard sailing to make sure you clear out the back of your car before you leave your house so you don't have this problem. But we'll rearrange it and we'll make it work. So we're going to go pick up the bookshelf now. Here, so one of the parts of flea marketing and yard sailing is actually physical labor. So you've got to get it in the car somehow.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And while we were there, we picked up a couple of pillows that I think I could probably use in my guest room because I'm changing the color to like a powder blue. So this will be good.
Will it fit?
Sure.
It's a good thing you have an SUV.
Okay, hold on. Let me just put this side down.
Actually, I think
It's good?
we're good.
Good. It always
So
helps.
do you usually keep blankets with you, or?
Yep, that's a good point. I always have blankets in my car. All right. Plus chairs. That shouldn't be there. All right.
Okay. Good.
Success. Welcome back to Lip Gloss and a Sander. We're here in my studio with Carmen, and we're here with the piece we just found at the yard sale. And right now you can see it's just a basic bookshelf with one shelf, and our thought process here was going to be to take some furniture stripper and strip the top and see once the stripper is used if it brings the original wood back to a nice condition. Carmen had indicated that she really wanted a wood stained finish for her bookshelf. So
Yeah, my preference is to stain it. Do you think these areas here would come out though okay? Because
Yeah.
it's spotting a little bit.
Yeah, I think what the plan will be is to use the stripper here, and then hopefully all the stain will come out, and it'll be nice and clean to take the wood stain. So we'll give it a try. And like these water stains here, they also should come out once we use the stripper.
Okay, great.
So,
I'm excited.
that's
My
gonna-
first project.
Oh, great. And so our first step is going to be to use the furniture stripper to try and get it to a clean finish. Then the second step will be to sand it completely. And then the third step will be to put the wood stain down.
Okay, great.
Now, there is a chance that once we use the stripper, the wood underneath might not be quite so good. So if it's not, then the option would be to paint it. And an option you had said was to paint it.
Yeah, like an off-white would also work for me.
Great. Okay.
What about this hardware? Can we work around that, or do we usually take that off?
No, we can. These will come right out. I just tried before. We'll just take these out, and always remember to take the hardware off before you start a project. Luckily, with this project, these are very, very simple to just take out, and we can just keep them in a secure place until after we're done, and we can reinsert them into the project. So.
Hopefully, it won't be too messy either. Do we? Should we start with gloves then?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Great.
Great.
Okay, so the first thing we would do is to get a container that is suitable for your furniture stripper. So you would just take this and pour it in, and just make sure that you have, we're just going to use a little bit right now. And then you wear your safety gloves. Make sure when you're using furniture stripper, you use the heavy duty gloves and not the disposable latex gloves. You really need some heavy duty.
Why is that?
Well, because it's, you don't want this to get on your skin. And so after you pour your furniture refinisher into your suitable canister, you would take some steel wool, and you would take a coarse steel wool because you're stripping the furniture. When you're at the finishing edge of the project, you would use the super fine. But for this case, you would want to use the coarse because you're stripping the
And you can usually just find this at any hardware store?
Yeah, like any of your local hardware store will have this.
Okay.
So you would dump it in. Now, oops. Forgot to put my mask on. You always want to wear a mask to be safe. Okay. So I'm going to try it first. Okay. So first you take this steel wool and you just kind of go in a circular motion to see if the finish is coming off. Now, does it look like it's coming off?
A little bit, yeah. I see the color coming off of it.
So now you see that Carmen and I have finished taking the varnish off the top, and you can see on our rags what you do is you'll wipe the varnish off after you put the furniture stripper on. So if you want
Looks
to,
like it came off pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
no, it's actually very simple. Okay, we're ready for the next step. The next step would be the sanding process of the furniture piece. I typically use two different types of sander. One is just a hand sander that's very easy to use, and these pieces come off, and then you put like a new piece of sandpaper there. This is what they call a mouse sander. It's a little smaller, and you have the piece. It's like it has a corner angled piece here, so you can get into little nooks
nooks and crannies.
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead for this project, use this mouse sander and show you how to do the top.
Great.
So we'll go ahead and move this down here. Okay. I have to be safe. Use my mask. Okay. All right, see how this is. So you would just right there. When you're sanding, you just want to make sure you stay with the grain and go in a back and a forth motion, very slow. And I'll let you go ahead and try.
Okay. That wasn't too hard.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Okay. It looks like it's really smoothing out the surface.
Right, so then this will be ready once you're done sanding the whole piece, which won't take too long because it's a very small piece. It'll be ready for the stain.
Great.
Okay. All right, so while we were working on the sanding portion, we noticed that there's a little bit of an imperfection here in the top part of the wood. And so Carmen and I talked about it a little bit, and we decided that since her style is a little less formal and she wanted something a little
More distressed.
yeah, we're gonna just try a little the other sander, and we're gonna use a little grittier sandpaper and see if we can get this part here to be a little smoother and blend in with the top. And we're gonna give it a try and see. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I like that little bit of a distress, and it did smooth it down a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is a lot stronger.
Yeah, this paper I used at 80 grit, which was a little harsher, and so this way it will help sand.
So I guess it's good to have both, because depending on the project, you might need it smoother or you might need more to take off.
Exactly,
the sand.
exactly. So some projects you don't want to use the coarse sandpaper because it will ruin the finish. I mean, it'll ruin the wood.
Right,
and it'll be too harsh. But that's why I went with, on the mouse sander, a little bit of a lighter sandpaper. But for something like this where you've got an imperfection you really want to blend in, you really need the heavier sandpaper. Another option you can use on your projects are these things you can buy at your local hardware store. They're sanding blocks, and they come in all different grits. Like this grit is a 60, which is very coarse, like almost like the 80 grit that we used on this paper. In between, you can use a 220 grit, which is, you can see I've used this one a lot. That's in between coats, just to kind of give it a little bit of a in between. Yep. So that way, in between, you can the next coat it would adhere a little better. And so you can use this on big projects. I recommend the sander. It's easier and faster.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
But sometimes you're doing a project and you don't have room for the sander, or you don't have the sander.
Right.
And then you can just use these blocks, and they're really easy and they're economical. You can buy them at the hardware store, and all different grits. So
great,
it's a different option.
Good idea.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready to select the stain for Carmen's bookshelf, and so I put them kind of in order of color, from lightest to darkest. And so you tell me what you're thinking about for color for your bookshelf.
I'm thinking a shade darker than what it was.
Okay.
A little bit darker. I think that would look good in the room.
But not too dark.
Not too dark.
Okay, so we could probably rule out this one as a little light. It's a little lighter than the actual finish now.
That looks like what it is now.
Right. And this is probably a little too dark.
Okay.
So we'll try this one. That's the one kind of close to the darkest, but not the lightest. So we'll try this color.
Rosewood. Okay, great.
Okay?
Yep.
So we'll move these. Okay. Okay, so in order to apply the stain, what you would do is you make sure you shake it up, which we've already done, and you'll apply it with either a brush or clean cloth. I prefer to use a clean cloth.
Okay.
I just think it's easier, but a lot of people use brushes. What's your preference?
Right.
Just make sure you go with the grain. Okay, so I will go ahead and do the first couple swipes to show you. So what you would do is you just take your cloth and you dip it in, and then you just apply. Oh, look how pretty that looks, Carmen.
Yeah,
good choice. And then you just kind of rub in the direction of the grain.
Okay.
You don't want to go back and like this.
Right, because you could probably see those strokes.
Right, you want to go with the grain, and that way you won't get streak marks, and it'll look the most natural.
I like that color.
It's a good choice.
Now, if I didn't like it,
Now,
would I be stuck with that?
No, like for example, if you did not like this color, what we would do is stop and get the stripper that we used in the first step.
Right.
And we would just strip this color off and then just resand it and then start again. So if you pick the wrong color, don't worry, it's okay. You can just kind of start over, but try and decide it before you get too far into the project, because that way you won't have much backpedaling to do. So
Okay,
but this is an actual.
I always thought I would be stuck with a color, and then you just never know.
So this actually is a really nice color, and it's absorbing well into the wood. So for right now, we originally spent $20 on this piece. We bought some other items at that sale, but the homeowner was willing to give us all the items for $25. So this was probably a little under $20.
And then with the supplies, this
And
is
with the
such
supplies,
a great.
not too much for the supplies. As we're doing this, I can talk about that. A can of stain probably costs $10, and this is a very large can of stain because I do a lot of projects, but you can buy the smaller can, and it would be a little less expensive. And the sandpaper and the other items, for like probably $20, $30, you can get all your material.
And you can reuse it as well. Like,
Right.
I
It's like
mean,
you'll still have some stain if you decide to do a different project in this color. Or if you don't have a sander, if you don't want to invest in one, you could borrow one from a friend. You could,
use the little blocks.
or you could use the little blocks if you don't want to invest in the sander. Since I do a lot of projects, I have 2 sanders, but those are the options you have. That looks really nice.
Yeah, let me try.
Go ahead. And if you want to get a darker coat, you would just wait a couple hours and then put the second coat on, and it'll be a little darker. So I don't know if you like this color with a little lighter, then you could just do the one
Right.
coat.
Right. Yeah.
And so you
it's
just make
really
sure you
easy.
you're kind of going back and forth. So make
Okay.
sure you stay with the grain.
Okay. Now, what about when you get to like the edge here? This grain is a little bit this way, so just.
Yeah, you would want to go the same way of the grain.
Okay.
Yep,
All right. And then,
perfect.
great.
And just finish this side too, so it's even out.
Okay.
That looks really good.
Great.
So if you started this job and you didn't like this color, you could just take the stripper and just strip it right off and get back to the natural finish. But right now it looks like this is
Yeah.
a beautiful color. It's just the right, and you can see the difference. We haven't done this side yet. I just put a little stain on here. You can see it, but it's a little bit lighter here, a little bit darker here. Now the whole thing will be this color as soon as we're done.
Great. That wasn't too hard.
Not too hard.
No.
Okay, so we've put on 2 coats of the stain, and it looks really great. Carmen, are you happy with the finish?
I am. I think it's going to look great in the room.
Great. So now the next step after you've applied all the stain is to put a top coat on. So we've already used some steel wool in between your coats, and before you put the polyurethane on, you should use some very 000 or 40 steel wool and just do a light coat, which we've already done over, just to get the surface ready for the poly. So I pulled out some polyurethane or other wax options for your final top coat.
Okay.
Some of these are like a wipe on. You can just use with the rag like we applied the stain. This is a wax that you can use. It's just a personal preference if you like wax. This is a poly that you can put on with a brush.
Okay.
These 2 are both wipe on. One is a little shinier finish than the other.
Okay.
So for this project, since we did the wipe on stain, maybe we can just do the wipe on poly, so we can just show the whole process with wiping on and not using a brush. Just kind of pour it on your rag. And then, like you did with the stain, you just go with the grain, and you can see it's getting a little bit of a gloss on it now.
Oh, yeah. So it just protects the wood, I guess, from.
Just protects the wood, like if somebody put a glass on, you don't want to get a water ring,
Right.
and just from other things that you might put on the top of your piece. You want to go ahead and try?
Okay. Sure.
Just remember, like with the stain, just go with the grain. That gives it a little bit of a sheen, but not too glossy.
Yeah, I see that.
It's just personal preference. Some people really like shiny finishes, and some people just like a matte finish. It's really easy to work with this wipe-on poly, so I like to use that. Some people are more comfortable with a brush, and it depends on the project that I use, what products I use for which project. So
How's that look?
that looks really great.
Think we need to add more? Or?
I think that looks good for the top. So we'll go ahead and finish doing the rest of the piece.
Okay.
Okay, our bookshelf is now dry from the couple coats of polyurethane we've applied, so we're ready to put the shelf back in and see how it looks. Voila!
Looks awesome. That wasn't too hard.
No, and see what you can do. You bought a $20 piece of furniture at a yard sale and you created this beautiful bookshelf for your home.
Great. Now I'm excited to put it in the room and see what it looks like.
Good. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for being on the first show of Lip Gloss and a Sander. It was a great day.
It was fun. Thank you, because now I have a great piece and I can't wait to get it home and see what it looks like in the room. So I'll send you pictures for sure.
Okay,
It's gonna
super.
look
Thank you
great.
so much. Well, that's it for today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of the first edition of Lip Gloss and a Sander. Follow me on Twitter at Lip Gloss Sander. I'm Bridget Edel. See you next time. This episode of Lip Gloss and a Sander was sponsored in part by the Amory Clements Real Estate Team. Big or small, we sell them all. For all your real estate needs, give us a call at 240-997-8654 or visit us on the web. Promotional consideration provided by Delaware Design Company, Marketing Communications with Direction, 302-737-9700, and by 4Dimensional Real Estate Solutions. For all your commercial real estate needs, call Gary Edel at 240-560-5280.